Hi students, how are you today? Today for me is Saturday and I'm happy to make this video for you. So let me make sure this is pinned to the top. Yes, on top. Okay. So what we have here are time signal words. For example, if you know the time you're talking about every morning, then you know you should probably be using simple present tense. If you know that you're talking about right now or these days, you're using present continuous tense. So what I have here is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 verb tenses, the 7 we have been studying, and I'm just going to read the sentence and read you maybe 5 or 6 of the time words that go with that verb tense. Okay? We have to really think about verb tenses, especially when you're writing. If you're writing about your past, you should be using simple past, maybe past continuous. If you're writing about your present, you should use simple present tense. If you're writing about experiences or something that impacts your present, you'd probably use present perfect. So we need to focus a little bit more on this. And I think by going through these time signal words, it's going to help your brain remember the verb tenses. Okay, so let's go. Simple present number 1, we go online. We go online every morning, in the morning, on Mondays, every weekend. We go online at night, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. We go online every year, twice a year, all of the time. I think we go online all of the time. I feel like I'm online 24/7. It's crazy. And I don't even have a smartphone. Present continuous. As you remember, present continuous is for right now or, excuse me, or a future plan, but it has to be a plan. Okay? So I am meeting my friends right now. I am meeting my friends these days. These days, 3 or 4 days ago, today, 2 or 3 days into the future. So these days could be like the 2 weeks before, now, and 1 or 2 weeks in the future is these days. It means around today. So I am meeting my friends right now these days. I'm meeting my friends after class. I'm meeting my friends tomorrow. I'm meeting my friends in a few days. I'm meeting my friends in a couple of weeks. I'm meeting my friends tonight. I'm meeting my friends this weekend, means coming weekend, and this Friday. So this Friday, if today's Wednesday, this Friday is in 2 days. Okay, this Friday means the next Friday, the one coming, the one close to me. Number 3, simple past. You saw your friends. Okay, simple past. You saw your friends last night, yesterday, last week. You saw your friends 3 days ago, 3 weeks ago, a few months ago, and last weekend. So when you use simple past, some of your keywords are going to be last and ago. Okay? Number 4, present perfect. Remember, present perfect has 2 meanings. What are the 2 meanings of present perfect? I'll wait. Okay, did you say from the past until now? That's one meaning, yes. I have been a teacher for 35 years. 35 years ago, now. So I have been a teacher for 35 years. Okay, that's one thing. The next one, as you remember, I hope, is if you had an one-time experience or two-time experience or three-time experience sometime in your life, but you don't say when. For example, I have swum in the ocean before. Maybe it's one time, maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, maybe 500 times. I have swum in the ocean before means in my life. In my life. I'll give you 2 more examples. I have ridden a horse before. I have ridden a horse before. That means I was born in 1961. Today is 2020. Sometime between 1961 and 2020, I rode a horse 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times, or many times. I have ridden a horse before. Okay. And number 3, I have slept in my garden before. I have slept in my garden before. I don't tell you when. So in terms of present perfect, how it's different from simple past is if I said, I slept in my garden 3 nights ago. I slept in my garden last week. If I put a time, simple past. But if I only say in my life, I would say, I have slept in the garden before. There's no past time that goes with it. So let's look at present perfect. She has lived in Seattle her whole life for 5 months. Since September of 2019, she has lived in Seattle since her dad bought a house. So if you want to use since, you can use it with a past tense sentence. Since her dad bought a house. Or if you want to use since, it's with a special day or special time. Since September of 2019, or since 2010, since last Christmas, since 1999, since July 4th. Okay, so that's with a specific time. And if you want to give a number, it's going to be for 5 months, for 6 months, for 2 years, for 10 years, for a long time. So for is for a length of time. Since is 1 day. And this one, for her whole life would be she has lived in Seattle for her whole life, or just she has lived in Seattle her whole life. So if we say this one, it's always with for her whole life, but sometimes or usually we don't say the for. Number 5, past perfect. Past perfect means there's 2 things in the past. One thing happens first, one thing happens second. Past perfect is the first event in the past, for example, and it shows how something changed. I had never eaten sushi until I went to Japan. No sushi, no sushi, no sushi. Beep! And then, until I went to Japan, sushi, sushi, sushi. So no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Past perfect, not always, but often shows something changed. So I would say like this, and then. I had only spoken Chinese and then I came to the US. That means you don't always speak Chinese in the US. I had slept with my parents until I was 10 years old. We had eaten in the cafeteria before the economic problem. I had slept 10 hours by the time I woke up. So these are key words that go with past perfect. We will study past perfect in more detail next week, not this week. Okay, future with will or going to. We use the same time words, but as you remember, will is going to be a prediction, a promise, or a fast decision. For example, oh, I will get it. Oh, I will take the baby. It means you very quickly think about the future. I'm thinking about my water right there. Okay. But we use the same time words, and of course, going to means you have a plan. It's similar to present progressive. So I will call you in a few days. I'm going to call you in a few days. I will go home after a while. I'm going to go home after a while. I will see you next week. I'm going to see you next week. Okay? And past continuous, finally, past continuous is used when there's 2 events that happen in the past. The first event is past continuous. I was swimming. Boom! A shark came to me. Okay? So past continuous describes the background of what's happening. This doesn't work too well with my hand on here. Okay. It describes the background and then boom, something stops it. Okay? So, I was swimming. This is a true story also. I was swimming when I saw a shark. While I was driving, I saw a little animal cross the street. Um, I was driving, and then suddenly I saw a monster. Good job. It's always good to be your teacher. I wish we could see each other face to face. Maybe someday. Bye. I'm going to win this time. There, go, Elizabeth. Yeah, nice job. Bye.